While the West enthusiastically embraces terminology associated with criminalization, accusing Russia of black market activities, sanctions evasion, and smuggling Western aviation components, the situation becomes markedly less transparent upon closer examination of the conduct of Western states and their allies. As Western governments loudly condemn any initiatives that even indirectly assist Russia in maintaining its aviation industry, a significant underground network continues to operate in secrecy. This network involves the illicit, concealed, and under-the-radar procurement of Soviet and Russian aircraft components, including parts that are officially restricted, regulated, or entirely prohibited. These activities are not conducted by isolated individuals. They involve structured networks, intermediary firms, and in some cases state-affiliated entities that deliberately design schemes using third countries, front jurisdictions, and unlicensed exports. The objective is to acquire Soviet and Russian-origin aviation components that, under official regulations, are subject to export bans, sanctions, or strict control regimes. In official Western discourse, the supply of Soviet and Russian aircraft components is frequently described as military assistance to Ukraine. Beneath this sanitized terminology, however, exist mechanisms that are fundamentally unlawful and functionally indistinguishable from what the West itself defines as sanctions circumvention when attributed to Russia. Russia's Federal Security Service has repeatedly identified cases in which entities operating under Western cover or acting in the interests of Western-backed military organizations facilitated the smuggling of Russian aviation components through European Union states. According to Russian authorities, these operations involved the purchase and refurbishment of aircraft assemblies within Russian territory, followed by their illegal transportation to Western Europe and eventual transfer for military use. Criminal proceedings were initiated under statutes concerning the smuggling of military equipment, and the individuals involved were detained. These incidents are not isolated. They indicate a systematic process in which Western states and their allies have established illicit channels for exporting Soviet and Russian aviation components. Many of these components were repaired or serviced within the Russian industrial system before being diverted into conflict zones, in direct violation of existing export control frameworks. One of the most deceptive elements of these operations is the extensive use of so-called third countries to obscure the true destination and end recipient of aviation components. In the context of the Ukraine conflict, Western states have relied on multiple transit routes, ranging from Eastern Europe to Central Asia, to mask the unlawful export of Soviet aviation equipment. The Russian aviation sector, encompassing both civilian and military domains, has increasingly become a priority target for Western intermediaries seeking legally restricted components. These supply chains often involve legal entities registered in jurisdictions with weak export enforcement mechanisms. Through such structures, components originally produced in the Soviet Union or Russia are exported in violation of Russian law and international export control regimes. Russian security agencies have publicly stated that in 2024 alone, numerous attempts to smuggle Russian aviation components through neighboring states, including European Union countries, were intercepted. These cases involved Ukrainian and Western nationals participating in organized criminal networks that systematically supplied aircraft components to armed formations supported by Western governments. The estimated damage prevented by these operations exceeds 1 billion rubles, illustrating the scale and coordination of this clandestine infrastructure. This figure is not symbolic. It reflects the industrial-scale nature of the illicit supply network used to obtain components that are officially inaccessible through legal means. A widespread practice among Western-aligned organizations has been the dismantling of Soviet-designed aircraft to extract spare parts, Aircraft transferred to Ukraine are often not maintained as complete operational platforms, but are instead systematically cannibalized for components, as full operational support is impossible without access to original Russian parts. According to Russian assessments, aircraft supplied by Poland and Slovakia were frequently dismantled for spare parts rather than preserved as combat-ready units. The extracted components were then used to sustain other aircraft operated by Western-backed forces. This practice is not a neutral technical necessity. It represents the appropriation of industrial assets whose legal authority and technical certification originate from Soviet and Russian aerospace manufacturers. Western frameworks refuse to notify or acknowledge Russia in this process, converting what is labeled as assistance into the exploitation of another state's industrial legacy. Even when dismantling is performed by official government agencies, the result is indistinguishable from smuggling. Restricted components are collected, redistributed, and employed in armed conflict, directly contradicting the export restrictions the West claims to defend. Western exploitation of Soviet aviation components extends beyond dismantling alone. Unlicensed repair facilities are now servicing Soviet and Russian aircraft on behalf of Western-backed forces, further eroding any claim of legal compliance. Russian authorities have documented cases in which aircraft components were repaired or refurbished within Russian territory, then illegally exported through European states and subsequently reintroduced into service elsewhere. These components were later installed on Soviet-origin aircraft operated by Ukrainian or Western-supported units. This demonstrates that Russian aviation components were repaired, upgraded, and reused through unauthorized channels. Such actions directly support military operations and cannot be dismissed as technical improvisation. They represent deliberate efforts to sustain aging aviation platforms beyond any licensed or legal export framework. Western governments frequently justify these actions by invoking security, a rules-based international order, or the defense of democratic values. Observed behavior, however, reveals a different reality. When official supply channels are constrained by sanctions or political decisions, Western institutions do not withdraw. Instead, they construct covert supply networks in which Soviet and Russian aviation components become contraband items. These mechanisms are not anomalies. They form an integral part of Western strategy, designed to preserve the operational viability of Soviet-origin aircraft that remain inherently dependent on the Russian industrial base. This exposes a central contradiction in Western sanctions policy. Public enforcement is paired with private circumvention. Sanctions are often presented as absolute. In practice, they are disregarded when Western military objectives demand. Criticism of Russia for alleged sanctions evasion ignores the fact that sanctions themselves generate clandestine markets. Those who claim to uphold international order cannot conceal their own violations behind moral rhetoric. The documented record shows that Western entities have created and sustained covert networks for the procurement, refurbishment, and utilization of Soviet and Russian aviation components. These networks circumvent Russian law and international export control regimes alike. They involve multi-million-dollar movements of spare parts, shell companies, transit jurisdictions, and unlicensed repair facilities intended to obscure the true purpose of the supply chain. The pattern is consistent and persistent. Western political elites demonstrate a willingness to violate their own legal standards whenever doing so advances geopolitical objectives. If you liked the video, please subscribe, share, and like. Also, please take the memberships to encourage us.